Did you see what I posted on Instagram about the pet of the month thing?
No. Well, I did, but I didn't really understand it.
I was wondering when I posted, I was like, is anybody going to get this? Because this is, I thought it was a very funny situation, but there was no way to like communicate it adequately on an Instagram story. So I was like, people are just going to see this and not understand that it's actually.
Well, I'll tell you what I think happened.
Okay.
You entered like a pen of the month competition at Zach's building.
Yes, the Avalon.
Okay. And then you won it?
Yeah.
What? Why?
I don't know.
And you put a made up fish.
So I had this, I walk into the Avalon. It's after the gym. Oh shit, that was cool. I walk in the Avalon. It's after the gym. It's about 3 weeks ago. And we're fucking around in the lobby. I think we made ourselves a couple Keurig like cappuccinos or whatever. And I walk over to this like table, and there's a picture of this like beautiful dog. Not really. It was an all right dog. It was like an all right dog. Apparently, that's all you needed to do to be pet of the month. And so they have these papers, and it was like you can fill out to submit to be next month's pet of the month.
Yeah.
And it says name, breed, favorite foods, and special skills. And so I was like, okay. So I went over and I put down, because I just cleaned out and got my aquarium ready to go. And I used to have this fish when I was a little kid named Zippy, who's one of my most prolific pets, because we got him from a carnival, and he was a goldfish. I got him with that ring tossing game. And
I've heard of Zippy before.
Yeah, Zippy, he's a classic pet. Like, Zippy meant more to me. I mean, I cried so much when he died. My mom cried so much when he died, and we resuscitated him like 3 times. And like some of the biggest miracles in my life were when he came back to life. It was amazing. Wow. We got him. We brought him home in a bag. We got like one of those classic fish bowls, like a classic. I don't even think they make classic fish bowls anymore. I think you can only get like the cubic aquariums. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold on. How did you resuscitate a fish?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
I'll get to that, bro. So it is kind of crazy. So it's actually crazy. So
not just once, 2, 3 times.
That fish should have never been alive ever, dude. That fish had 9 lives. So I win him, and I get this bag, like you go from a carnival, this little fish, and he would just like swim around. So I was like, I want to call him Zippy. We come home, we go stop at PetSmart on the way back. My mom gets a little fish bowl. We put him in there, no filter, no nothing, like none of the stuff you're supposed to do.
Yeah, this is like your first fish.
Yeah, straight tap
also,
water.
Your mom probably didn't even expect it to like live.
Of course not.
Past like 2 weeks.
Of course not. My mom thought like this is just gonna be like just something my little kid wanted. It'll probably die in 3 days, and I'll have to explain to him why if you get something from PetSmart, if you win something at a carnival and put it in straight tap water, it's gonna die eventually.
Yeah.
So we go there, we put him in there, and we get 3 other fish, and these fish from PetSmart all wind up dying within the first like 2 weeks, but Zippy stays alive.
Wow.
And so he winds up being our only fish for like a while. And then I go to the reservoir with my dad, and we find a crayfish, like one of those little mini lobster things. Yeah. And we're like, let's just throw him in the tank with Zippy.
Nothing could go wrong.
What could go wrong? And so we had like this little barrel ornament, and the crayfish, Clippers, crawls directly into the barrel ornament. And so Zippy's swimming around, and all this crayfish would do all day is peek out of the thing and try to clip at Zippy. So we called him Clippers. He's trying to kill our other fish. That's adorable. So Zippy, for like 2 weeks, has to just not ever go down there. And he just stays chilling around the top.
Just and a Clippers... violent game of whack-a-mole.
And so finally, we get another like little terrarium-looking thing to put Clippers in. We fill it up. We give him another barrel thing because he liked the barrel thing. Mm-hmm. And he was a fun pet because I would find like little cave crickets in my basement and just toss them in the tank and watch them like fucking devour them. It was awesome. Damn. It was like my favorite hobby, honestly. And then side story, the first time he like molted, we thought he died because we just found like a shell curled up in the corner. We were like, no, Clippers is dead. And then I like reached down to get the shell, and then Clippers popped out of the barrel. I was like, oh no, dude. I'm less smart than my goldfish right now.
Yeah, Zippy never got clipped.
Zippy never got clipped, dude. I got clipped. And so he had become like a soft shell crab for like 2 weeks at a time. It was kind of dope. He wound up getting pretty big. He wound up getting like as big as this lighter.
Wow.
Like a big lighter. It was cool. And so Years go by, we get more and more fish, and we keep putting them in the bowl, and they just keep dying, and Zippy stays alive. Finally, we're like, you know what? We're getting
Just
Zippy
keeps like eating their souls to stay alive.
to stay alive, dude.
Jesus.
So finally, we splurge and get Zippy like a real aquarium. So we get this big 20-gallon aquarium just for this one fish, and we keep him in there. And then one day we come downstairs, and Zippy is on his side on the top of the water, which I think only goldfish die that way, because I've had millions of fish die since then, and they always die at like the bottom or something, but Zippy died at the top. And I think what was happening was he was using his gill to try to get as much oxygen out of the air from the surface as he could, because we didn't have like one of those air bubbler things.
Oh.
So then we got an air bubbler thing, and then he came back to life, and we were like, okay, cool. Then he started doing some other shit where he just wouldn't move, and this was like a year later. We had this fish for like 4 years.
Oh my God. How big did it get?
He got like, I don't know, maybe I don't even know. Maybe he got like maybe this long.
Damn.
It was solid. They grow according to the size of the tank.
Yeah, yeah.
So like depending on how big your tank, they'll just go to exactly that size, which is kind of cool. Because goldfish are just carp.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah.
Well, some people think that like koi fish are kind of like just big goldfish.
I think they are. Because aren't koi fish just Japanese carp?
I guess. I'm not really sure.
Well, either way.
But I think they have the same concept where like they grow to whatever size thing they're in.
They're the most disgusting tasting, by the way. You can catch carp in like gunpowder and shit, and they're just gross. They're cute when they're small, but when they get big, they're just disgusting. They only eat
They're
off
really
the bottom.
oily, right?
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Yeah,
But
they
s-
look like kind of like chicken nuggets. Goldfish.
Yeah, they do. Very cute. And so Zippy, we think, is dead, and my mom is like legit crying and everything like that. And then she finds on like the internet that you're like, oh well, if you put him in the freezer and like just leave him there overnight, I don't know what happens. I don't know. My mom just saw this. She was like, let's just try it. So we get
What?
Zippy out. We put him in like a Ziploc bag of water. We put him in the freezer. And we open up the freezer the next morning. Well, we put him in the freezer in the morning. At night, we open up the freezer, and he's like, it's like fucking frozen. It's ridiculous. He's frozen in his eyes. Walt Disney style, dude. and so we take him downstairs, and we put this block of ice with a fish in it in the aquarium, and we go to bed. And I'm thinking, dude, there's no fucking way this could ever work. And I wake up the next morning, and I'm so sad. And I walk downstairs. I'm just expected like to just see this dead, thawed out fish. And I come downstairs, and Zippy's just fucking swimming around the tank again, dude.
Okay, wait a second.
Dude, I
Are you
swear.
sure your mom didn't replace Zippy?
Dude, I swear to God, she did not replace Zippy, dude. He was
Okay.
in. He was
Like
in.
he still had like ice on him.
Dude, he fucking somehow we froze. We froze him. And he fucking came back to life, like fucking Pet Cemetery or something, dude.
Dude, oh my God.
It's fucking. It's a very unbelievable story. But
I'm
anyway,
trying to Google this to see if I can find
look
this
up
out.
freezing fish, dude. Look up freezing your goldfish to resuscitate him or something. So he came back to life, and then years later he eventually did die, and it was very, very sad. I think I cried more over him, easily more than any other pet, besides like my dogs and stuff. Like, I didn't cry that much when Clipper just died. I was just kind of bummed about it because then I didn't have anything to do with my cave crickets. But anyway, so I'm in Zach's apartment, and I get this application, and I'm like, well, this is kind of like, they say pet of the month, but then they have something like breed. And so it's like, do they even call different types of cats different breeds? Or is it just dogs?
I guess so.
Like, nobody ever says what
But also,
breed
I feel
is
like
your
people
cat.
people don't really care about cat breeds that much, I guess.
Because there's only like two types, I feel like. There's like two main types. There's like the gray one and then like the orange one. It's like and black ones. Black
ones.
cats.
There's like white ones with spots.
Yeah, but those are very rare, dude. That's like, I rarely see those. Every cat
Yeah.
I ever see is a gray cat.
For sure.
And then occasionally you'll see like an orange one, and then like an older woman might have a black cat. But like, I feel like all the other ones, like Siamese cats, like the fucking ones with no hair and shit. Like, have you ever seen one of those in real life?
No.
Exactly. I feel like they're only in movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I'm filling out this application. I immediately think like, I'm gonna fill it out for Zippy, my favorite fish.
Also, I looked it up. Apparently, you can do that.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
You can do that.
Yeah, that's
We
fucking
did
wild.
it. And that was like old internet too. That was like that information was out in 2006, which means somebody before the internet realized that you could do that just took a fucking chance. Like in the 90s was like.
But also, I guess it makes sense because it's like, what do fish do when the water they're in freezes? Like, I guess some of them just survive that way.
That's true, because we were talking about koi fish, and like when you have a pond over the winter, that shit freezes, and all the fish just freeze, and then when it thaws out, they're like good to go.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I guess that makes sense then. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, it worked. So I'm filling out this thing, and I get to breed, and I was like, fish. Let's put fish as breed, and then I get to the bottom. It was like special skills, and I said, can breathe underwater. And then I submitted it. I walked up to the lady. I said, hey, are you guys still taking applications for Pet of the Month? And she was like, yeah. Because she knew I didn't live there.
Yeah.
And then she took it anyway. And I just figured, like, I was saying, Zach was like, dude, what are you doing? This is retarded. And I was like, dude, come on. It's, if anything, it just gave me like a little kick. That's all I expected. I was just like, this is stupid, But it was worth it for me. And then 2 weeks later, Zach sends me a screenshot of an email, and she was like, I think your friend submitted an application for Pet of the Month for a fish, and I just want you guys to know that I was laughing so hard, and I decided to make him the Pet of the Month automatically, whether it's real or not. And then she was like, and if he's real, you can send us pictures. And I was like, okay. Now it's time to get a fish.
Yeah.
I need to get a fish.
And I need to name him Sippy.
Exactly. So I go to the store that day and I pick up 3 fish, and I took a picture and sent it to Zach. And Zach said that, like, we co-parent the fish or something. He stays at my place. But, like, it's cool now because now there's going to be a picture of my fish at the Avalon, which is an apartment building that I would never have enough money to live at. But I have just the right
now
enough.
your fish is there.
Yeah. I have just the right enough money to have a Pet of the Month there. So that was good. So I took a picture of it and sent it. And then within like 2 days, one of my fish died and my snail. Don't buy snails from PetSmart. They never live. They don't live.
You should get one of those little, like, they look like little catfish, and they suck the algae off the walls of the tank.
Algae eaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Dom was saying we should get one of those too, but I don't really like those too much. They like, that's all they do. They just always are stuck.
Yeah, but then you don't have to clean the tank.
Dude, pro tip, all fish are algae eaters. Algae eater fish just try too hard. That's like all they do.
Yeah.
Regular fish, what, they're not eating algae? They're eating algae.
They are, but not at the rate that the algae eater is.
I watch my fish, and I feel like the majority of what they do, but I don't know what the hell else
Suck
they're
on
doing.
the walls of the tank.
They just fucking go up, and that's all fish do all day. They just kind of swim around. That's all they do. That's literally all they're allowed to do, or they're able to do. But so we got 3 regular fish, and that's why I got a snail, because snails eat algae, and they also stick to the side of things. But at least with that, you're looking at something with like a cool shell or whatever.
True.
But I don't even know where my snail is. I haven't seen him in 4 days. I don't know where he is. It's weird that even in a 20-gallon tank, I will lose a fish for like a week.
Yeah.
Like
So
I'll
they're
just
chilling.
I'll just be like, dude, I haven't seen that snail in a week. I think he's gone. And then one day I'll just look over and he'll just be like on top of a fucking tree or something. Like, damn, dude, he's still alive.
Yeah, I guess you're climbing that.
Who knew?
Who knew? It took you a while, huh?
Yeah. But they do eat dead. When I was at PetSmart, it was kind of weird. It was kind of gross. I went there and there was this one dead fish in the tank, and then there was like 6 snails all over him, just eating him and just moving around. And the dead
Ooh.
fish was just like, and the other snails were just like,
Jesus.
it was gross, dude.
Maybe that's why you never find your fish when they die.
I am starting to think that's what it is, because I don't remember this ever.
I remember my snails getting huge. My snails got ripped.
I think one of
They
the
started taking down the live ones.
dude, I think one of the reasons why I loved Zippy so much and why it affected me so much when he died is because he's one of the few fish I've seen dead, where I actually, like, I would say probably about 1 out of every 3 fish that I get disappears. I don't know where he goes. Like, I get like many fish. We've talked about it before on the podcast.
Yeah.
I get fish like I get like salmon from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like regular fish and pet fish that are just gonna make it 2 weeks just so I can have them in my tank. I'm a terrible
you get them
fish
like
owner.
flowers.
Yeah, I'm a terrible fish owner. But like, I think one of the reasons I don't get that attachment is because like I've only flushed like a certain percentage of them, dude. And the one fish, I felt kind of bad because he died within like 2 days of getting it, and I was just like,
This doesn't count.
yeah, this is not
I'm
on
gonna
me.
go return this and get a
Yeah.
different one.
Yeah.
This one's broken.
You can actually do that.
I figured.
You
yeah.
can, which I feel is weird. I just feel like that's morbid. You know, you just show up with a dead fish, and it's like $2. You know,
Yeah.